Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes Happy Hour Sports Talk. I, of course, am the brofict one, AJ. Happy Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Hope you're having a great day. Had a great week and ready for a great weekend. We've got a lot to talk about today. We've got Brian Robinson Jr. on the move. We'll break down what he's going to look like in a 49ers jersey. We got to talk about Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons and that saga, of course, along with some new stuff coming out of the NBA, some rumors coming out of the NBA, and some new stuff coming to not only the NFL, but college football. Before we go any further, though, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit the like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But let's go ahead and get started with the... Hold on. This is killing me. There we go. Let's go ahead and get started with the news of the day, and that would be Brian Robinson Jr. getting traded from the Washington Commanders to the San Francisco 49ers for a 2026 sixth-round pick. And so shout out to Brian Robinson Jr., and the 49ers. Let's be real. The 49ers are an interesting offense this season. They go ahead and they sign Brock Purdy to his big deal as almost like a thank you for, being Mr. Irrelevant, not getting paid, being having a roommate as an NFL starting quarterback, taking us to the playoffs, taking us to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was always going to be a point of contention for them with this team, just because that's a lot of money going there, and they already got a lot of money spread out other places. Other positions are going to hurt. And that's what we're seeing, I think, on the defensive side of the football and a little bit on the O-line, D-line as well for the 49ers. Not to mention the fact that their offense is just riddled with suspensions, injuries, and just bad luck. As of right now, Christian McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, and Kyle Juszczyk are the only offensive skill players that are going to be cleared as of today. That would be cleared to play in week one, along with Brock Purdy, of course. Brandon Ayuk is out. Juwan Jennings is injured. Jacob Cowing is injured. Russell Gage Jr. is questionable. Jordan Watkins is injured. Demarcus Robinson getting suspended because of, not following the substance abuse program or whatever, performance enhancing. Anyway, he got caught and he's suspended. And you go ahead and bring in Brian Robinson Jr., which I do think is needed, because you're going to be so weak on the wide receiver side of the football for a while. And you're going to be asking a lot of fourth string and third string guys to be getting some big reps and to, kind of steady the ship in the beginning of the season, which will be rough. So it seems like the 49ers are going to be looking to run that football a lot with I think it's going to have to be running back by committee. Yes, Christian McCaffrey is still going to be your running back number one, but Brian Robinson Jr. there is your second, and then Isaac Guerendo as your as your third option. That's not a bad backfield. It's not a bad backfield that I would feel, worried about putting onto a field coming into week one. Everything else is going to have to work itself out, though, for the 49ers. As long as Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle can stay healthy, he'll have some targets on the offensive side, and we're going to get some guys that we wouldn't know, like a Tariq Owens and an Isaiah Hodgins. Again, injury reports can change going into week one. We know the 49ers absolutely love to mess with the injury report before week one. Shout out to Christian McCaffrey last year. Thank God it doesn't seem like we're trending in that direction with him this year as we stand right now. But it's going to be an interesting NFC West is very interesting this year. You got the 49ers, who on paper aren't the worst team, but still some questionable stuff on the defensive side. A lot of young guys, a lot of unproven guys that are going to be out there. Will they be able to do exactly what Shanahan and the boys want them to do? Then you got the Seattle Seahawks, bringing in Sam Darnold after the season that he had with Kevin O'Connell. With a much new look Seattle Seahawks, you bring in Cooper Kupp. You still have JSN there. I love Zach Charbonnet in this system, but it's really going to be revolving around how does Sam Darnold handle the football, and is he going to be able to not see ghost? And then you got the Los Angeles Rams, How's Matt Stafford's back going to hold up this season? What does Devontae Adams have left in the tank? Is Puka Nacua going to be able to stay at that level he's been at the last couple of years? And a lot of fantasy owners seem to think so. Puka Nacua, consistent first or early second round guy, depending on the draft and how people are drafting. And then you got the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, if you've watched this show before, you know how hype I am on the Arizona Cardinals this season and how they're going to look in general. And so, yeah, I'm excited for Kyler Murray, James Conner, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. to get a lot of looks, Budda Baker to eat on the outside, Josh Sweat to be cooking. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited for the Arizona Cardinals. It's gonna be a uncompetitive, competitive division, if that makes any sense at all. That's kind of what I see for the NFC West. But I mean, it's a good move for the 49ers with what they're going to be going into week 1-2 with. And I will say, kind of an interesting move from the Washington Commanders, who, it was only last year of their first real, I would say, glimpse of success in a while, especially after the whole Josh Harris issue, ownership changing and everything. You bring in Dan Quinn, you get Jaden Daniels in the draft, and you're taking off from there. And it wasn't that long ago, though, this team wasn't that good. And now you go ahead and you ship off Brian Robinson Jr., which I completely understand. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt has shown a lot in the preseason. And from what he's shown in the preseason, I can only imagine what he's shown in practice. And so him being a number 2 option to Austin Ekeler, or even overtaking that running back 1 there, I totally see that and understand the decision. You just can't carry that many running backs. But then that leads kind of to what Washington's doing with Scary Terry. We talked yesterday about how the Commanders reached out to the Steelers. That's who it was. They reached out to the Steelers and they say, hey, we'll give you, Terry McLaurin, but we want Pat Freiermuth and a pick. And they said, no, thank you. Thank you very much. And so I don't know. And I get it. They must be very excited about how Luke McCaffrey's been developing, or they think Debo is going to be able to take enough of the responsibility. Why do we need 2 highly paid wide receivers on the roster? But I don't know. I'm a fan of Scary Terry, and I think that if he should be staying on the Commanders, and I think it's a good thing for the Commanders too. And don't get me wrong, I think Debo does kind of take over here as the wide receiver number 1, that guy that gets those first looks. But having Terry McLaurin as a number 2 option is not the worst thing in the world. And I know he was kind of cooled off on him and everything, because he did come into this league very hype, like with a lot of hype around him. The issue was he just didn't have a good quarterback around him. Now, all of a sudden, he has a good quarterback and Jaden Daniels around him. Why wouldn't he eat? Why wouldn't he cook? Both of them. And so in the long run, I mean, Commanders get another pick. They want to get younger. That's very clear. We've seen the Minnesota Vikings kind of go through this metamorphosis as well, with, and it's, it started, they were just is a mass exodus on anyone over the age of 30, essentially. They're like, we want to get this team young. We want to build around JJ and Addison, and we want to go from there. And they've done that. And now they're a young team with a lot of cap room, because you're only paying JJ a rookie salary. But it's crazy, just because Kevin O'Connell's good as a quarterback whisperer and everything, but they're putting a lot of faith in a guy that we have not seen play an NFL snap, not in preseason, not in, regular season. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how all of that plays out and what the Commanders end up doing moving forward, if they end up, trading Terry McLaurin away before the season starts. Which, of the players that are upset and, not practicing right now in Micah Parsons, Trey Hendrickson, and Terry McLaurin feels more like the guy that would stay out of all 3 of these. I would say Micah and Trey Hendrickson, a lot's been done, not only in the media, but probably behind closed doors, or lots have not been done, I guess you could say. And those relationships seem tattered. They don't seem not rebuildable. They just don't seem... Ownership has made a decision. I guess we should say that. Ownership has been very clear on a decision, especially with Trey Hendrickson. I don't get the point they're trying to prove with Terry. I mean, I get it. It was one good season over how long he's been with the team, but it's also new ownership, new GM, new head coach and everything. So you don't know what those plans are moving forward. And maybe the GM's thinking, no, we need to get younger at this team. If we've got a good solid piece with Jaden Daniels, let's go ahead and keep it going. But overall, I mean, winning and losing this trade, I don't think it's a win or a loss. I mean, the Commanders needed to get rid of a running back. the 49ers needed a running back and they had an extra 6th-round pick. Nothing, it was net neutral overall. I don't think either team hurts or either team is more successful because of this, and doesn't really change my opinion on either teams. But that's a trade, and I think we might be seeing at least one more. I really do, guys. This whole thing with Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons, David Mulugheta, and everybody it's become too much. And what I mean by that is, in the normal narrative of, the Cowboys, Jerry is in control right now. They've been negotiating for a while, and they're ready to put pen to paper in the next couple of days leading up to the season, because Jerry likes to make a splash going into the season because the Dallas Cowboys are a 365 soap opera. But comes to light recently, Jerry Jones, because he can't stay out of the way of a microphone, was doing an interview and talked about how, he sent an offer over to David Mulugheta, Micah Parsons' agent, and Mulugheta said he can go ahead and take that offer and shove it up his ass. Jerry Jones would then go on to say something along the lines of, well, if you would have saw how much we offered him, you would have seen how much we want him to stay Dallas Cowboy. And yeah, Jerry, I bet. When it's not a contract that's going to get disclosed to the public, yeah, I bet you offered him the fucking world. And let's just pretend. Let's pretend for a moment that Jerry Jones was telling the truth. Okay, that Jerry Jones did offer a contract that would make Micah Parsons the highest paid player in the NFL, quarterback, non-quarterback. Let's pretend for a moment that Jerry Jones did offer that deal to Micah Parsons. Okay. If the response from the agent, which Micah had to have told him that the response is to take it and shove it up his ass, that this relationship is done. That this is not a fixable situation. This is not a, well, come over, let's have a drink and talk about it situation. This is a, nah, dude, you've screwed me. You waited till the last second to start to get something done. I've been nothing but, a good soldier, saying the right things in the media, not getting upset, and then you push my hand. And if that comment about the contract going where it wasn't supposed to be isn't enough, Micah Parsons does what every disgruntled NFL player and I guess athlete does nowadays, and that is completely wipe his social media accounts of anything related Dallas Cowboys. And so it's getting serious, obviously. Not that it hasn't been getting serious, but then again, what's real and what's not? And that's the thing with the Dallas Cowboys and freaking Jerry Jones. He's got me doing it again, and it sucks. But unfortunately, it's a slow news day, and this is the most interesting thing out there. And it's crazy to get into Jerry's head and to start thinking like this. And I've done this the last couple of years now, with CD, with Dak, and now with Micah. And in the beginning of the process, it just seemed business as usual for Jerry Jones, Yeah, we're not really going to do anything in the offseason. We're not going to really talk during minicamp or anything like that. We'll talk a little bit during training camp. And then after we get into, the last preseason game is when we'll really, put, rubber to road and get this thing done. And we'll just for optics and everything. And for the news cycle, we'll wait to announce it or wait to sign it day of. So that's the news cycle. Because Jerry ain't happy to be going into Philadelphia for banner night, opening the season. Jerry ain't happy about that, so he wants to go ahead and dominate the headlines how else he can, with Micah Parsons becoming highest paid whatever and whatever. Is it a possibility that still happens? Of course, never say never in this league. But as someone who's been following this closely and has followed all of this, Jerry Jones, his latest big signings and everything, this one just seems much different. This seems much different and doesn't seem like something that can be smoothed over by the time we're kicking off week 1. And money talks. Maybe it does. Maybe it all gets smoothed over. Maybe by the time I'm done talking and finishing this sentence, I should check X real quick. A deal's done and ready to go. No, it hasn't yet. Deal hasn't happened yet, but it's it's crazy that Jerry keeps putting himself in this position. You know what I mean? I'm only a couple episodes into the Netflix doc that they did on the Cowboys. And, like I've always said, respect to Jerry Jones. What he's built, how he built it, what he's done for the NFL, his vision for what football and modern football should be, which is what we know is football today. Like, all the respect in the world to Jerry, But it's going to be stuff like this that taints his legacy at the end of the day. Yeah, Jerry was incredible for the league and everything, but, after the 90s, he didn't do shit with the Cowboys. Cowboys were never worth a damn after that. And then Cowboys fans were delusional and every yada, yada, yada. And so it's sad that Jerry Jones, who's done so much for the game we all love, is going to have a tainted reputation because of how he dealt with players, especially towards the back half of his career. And I think a lot of that does have to do with, the landscape and the fact that Jerry Jones continues to refuse to change with the times. He just doesn't. He refuses to. He doesn't understand that football isn't the same game that it was in the 90s. It's a much different game nowadays. And yes, more money and this and that and the other. You can have the most expensive players on the biggest contracts. But as we've seen with Dak Prescott, he's fine to go ahead and restructure that thing the moment it's not paying the way it should. And so, who knows? Who knows? And will the Cowboys ever turn it around? That's a great question. That's a fantastic question, isn't it? We'll find out. We will find out. But that's all I got on that. Crazy stuff going on with the Cowboys. I expect it to get somehow even worse before it does get better, if it does get better. But at this time, it does not feel like it's getting better whatsoever. But hey, it happens. It happens. What's going on in the NFL also is being reported that NFL stadiums are now being equipped with dozens of new 4K cameras along the sideline, back of end zone, and on the goal lines to increase the amount of angles and visions that the refs have and that the replay officials have during games, which is good. I will say that, which is good. I'm getting to the point, though. And we all know why it's good. It's good for gambling. It's good for integrity of the game. It's good for the officials so teams don't get screwed and you're not leaving, these judgment calls up, especially ones that shouldn't be judgment calls, and it is across the line. It's not across the line, et cetera, et cetera. And we're seeing that now with the ball. And it's my same thing with baseball with the ABS system. It does start to feel like we're getting a little too mechanical. You know what I mean? It feels like we're taking some of the human element out of sports. And that human element is officiating. Good, bad, indifferent, you know what I mean? Refs are you either don't notice them or you notice them all game. And that goes for whatever sport you watch, you pay attention to. Hockey refs are the best, though. Shout out to hockey officials. Those guys are the absolute best. They just skate around. They call something every once in a while, and they actually have a little bit of personality, which is hard to get out of a referee. But I'm all for giving them the tools they need to do their job correctly. I'm all for that. I just don't want to lose those moments. And it was my same thing with ABS. I don't want to lose those moments of a bad call happening and then, the fans giving it to the refs for the next 10 minutes or whatever. I don't want to miss out on those moments. I don't want to miss out on, a heartbreaking, 4th and 1 conversion where really it could have gone either way. But with the replay angles they have, they're going to say no. Those moments, those momentum changing moments in games, I think are going to be affected a little bit. And yes, they'll still have them in other ways, of course, with, big bombs and all of that. And we'll still get a little bit of, the ref booing and stuff with the initial call. And then it goes to replay and then you cheer for it. I don't know. It feels too stiff. And and the issue more than anything, the replays already take so long. The replays already take so long. And so we're going to add more camera angles to increase this process even longer. Golly. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, bro. And that's the issue. They get inundated with so much information. And I know it goes to New York and they got people that just work on it. I get it. But still, it takes forever. It takes forever and a half. And if they can speed up that process, then fine. Maybe it'll be worth it. But I'm just worried about football becoming, just like other sports, a little too mechanical, a little too reliant on technology to make calls and taking out a little bit of that human element that it is. And those moments in sports. You know what I mean? With this new VAR and everything, with the first down markers, we will never, ever get someone pulling out a note card again or anything like that. Or like it's clearly short and they call it a first down. Like we'll never get those moments ever again. Which it depends the way you look at it, good, bad. I look at those as, key moments in sports history that led to something. And I don't know, it's cool to see those moments. The official clearly made a mistake or just didn't care to correct the call. And, then XYZ happens. Like, it's part of the game. You got to overcome the officials, and also you can't let officiating take over the game and you can't let them decide who wins the game. And it's just going to take a long time. I'm already sick and tired of it. I can tell you already, I know it's taking a long time. I'm sick and tired. We haven't seen a game yet with it, but I'm sick and tired of it. But yeah, I mean, good for the NFL. I mean, you got all the money in the world. You might as well spend it on more cameras for better replay angles. And let's be real. It's for highlights. It's for highlights. It's for socials and everything like that. So the teams and NFL can put that out, keep getting all the interactions and everything. So shout out to the NFL, always being one step ahead. Always being one step ahead. And that leads us to an organization that tends to not stay one step ahead, and that would be the lovely NCAA, which, kind of exists still, but doesn't really matter anymore. They're just kind of around, and they're doing anything to keep themselves relevant. And when we were talking about the Michigan stuff last week, I was like, the NCAA is going to come out with something else before the season starts. Like they don't just drop one thing. It's going to be one thing, and then they're going to lead up to something else to keep their name in the relevant, essentially. And they decided to come out with this new one. NCAA is concerned, guys. Oh, the NCAA is concerned. They're concerned about the football prediction markets. No, not just sports betting. We are talking specifically about the prediction markets. Think Polymarket, and now the Robinhood edition and partnership with Polymarket, allowing for trading on sports games through their app and the funds you have on there with a trading account. And let's dig into that initially first, because us over here in America, we see these prediction markets and everything, and we think this is revolutionary. This is, from my understanding, a very more European thing. And in Europe, it is very easy to bet on, U.S. elections, public outcomes of things, et cetera, et cetera. And they do use a system, I would say, that closer resembles the system that Robinhood and Polymarket use. With that being said, inside, the big sport shops and everything, think FanDuel, DraftKings, there are the people who make the lines are called traders. They are called traders. They are trading lines with the customers and adjusting the markets accordingly to market conditions. And it was fascinating. They brought over one of the head lines makers when I worked for a sports book. They brought him over from Ireland, and he broke it down for us, not how they get their odds or anything like that, but what their job is and how we are going to end up working with them and stuff. And that's why we couldn't use that sports book for obvious reasons. But the point being, the stock market, sports betting, a lot of it does, kind of correlate. And that's always why when we talk football, especially, in any sport really where I'm gambling on it, I always refer to where the public money's at, because unlike the stock market where companies can decide where to, put their price or anything, and that's all driven by public money, the sports books decide where to put the lines, but the sports books can decide to move the lines based off of who's betting on it and how much is betting on it. And so, for example, which game was it that we were talking about for week 0? there was some serious reverse line movement on a game, or I was looking at a game for week 1, and reverse line movement when a line opens and there's a line opens, let's say it's a 7-point game, okay, and Team A is a 7-point favorite. Team A has 80% of the bets, 80% of the money, but it drops from a 7-point line to a 5-point line. That is reverse line movement, because if there is more money on a team, the line theoretically should be going up, and to give more of a 50-50 to get people to bet on Team B. And I guess that's just my long-winded, overly explained explanation for this is done other places. And this is not a big deal. NCAA citing, potential for, insider information and for corruption within the game and everything, because it's not regulated like a sports book. It's regulated by the trade commissions, because you're not really betting on it. You are buying into a team and the result at the end, and they're not setting a line. The market, the players, the investors are pushing that line up and down pending what the orders are. I don't dabble that much into the prediction markets and stuff. I think the sports books, again, I think it's safer. I think it's better. And those other companies just scare me a little bit. I like that the sports books are more regulated. And I know people love these prediction markets and they're having a great time, whether it's Kalshi, Polymarket, or now Robinhood. Never been not my thing. And I don't think it's going to be my thing. I do think it overcomplicates sports betting a little bit. And I do think you're getting worse odds overall on specific markets than a sports book. And I'm going to do more research into it. I haven't done that much. And I think you don't really get a good sample size with NBA and MLB. I'm excited to see the NFL comparisons. But in my true opinion, this whole prediction market stuff is really just a, how do I say this? Just a pretentious sports betting. You know what I mean? It's for guys that, I guess, look down on gambling, and they're like, oh, I would never gamble. Why would I lose my money like that? I only invest in stocks and invest in stuff that I know will grow over time. And the way they have these prediction markets set up, you can buy your share of Team A, and the game's going good and everything. You have your cash out option, which is just your sell button to sell that stock at that price or that team at that price, and continuing it forward. And again, it's very European. The whole thing is not new. It's just very European, and they figured out a way around American regulations to get it into all 50 states. Because you can trade stocks in all 50 states. And now, because they're not a sports book, it's investing in a team, and the result, it doesn't need to be regulated by local gaming commissions. And it is fascinating. I do think eventually there will be a court case about it, because the sports books are going to be like, this is literally the same thing, guys, and we're not in all 50 states. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I think that court case is going to come sooner rather than later, especially if they do see a bigger market share start trending towards the prediction markets, which I wouldn't be shocked, because people, depending on the type of gambler you are, if you are a sports gambler, they like the idea of having a full-time cash out option. Not just when the sportsbook wants to give you a cash out option, but you have an opportunity to sell at pretty much any point while you hold that stock. And so it could be a way to make quick money. I do think it is getting more and more popular. And now that Robinhood's getting involved in it, it's going to continue to go up. I do think, again, it will lead to some type of a court case between the sports books and the prediction markets, because of the fact that, again, you can trade stocks, but you can't gamble on sports in all 50 states. And the loophole is trading. You don't even have DFS, gambling DFS in all 50 states. And yet you can still do player props in these prediction markets. Granted, shout out to them. I wish they would have figured out this loophole sooner, and not in 2025, but back when I was in college, that would have been great. But hey, the sports books had to walk so the prediction markets could run. There's going to be a court case. There's going to be something that comes of it, because you don't just do this and piss off the casinos and not have a couple heads roll. Figuratively, metaphorically, of course, but I'm sure we've all seen Casino. But yeah, I told you NCAA would become relevant at some point again, and they are coming here with this. NFL is not going to be worried about it. It is just sports gambling at the end of the day. At the absolute end of the day, it's just douchebag sports betting. I guess that's the best way I can say it. It's douchebag sports betting. It's just to make it sound cooler. Oh yeah, I'm trading on Iowa State this weekend instead of Kansas State. I just like where that stock option is a lot more. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Take the money line, be a man. But yeah, NCAA is going to continue to try to stay relevant with this gambling stuff, and we'll see how it works out for them. But let's take a break from the gridiron, move on over to the hardwood, as there has been confirmed reports now that the Golden State Warriors have reached out multiple times to the Lakers regarding a possible LeBron James trade. LeBron James opting into his opt-in clause to stay with the Lakers, I believe, for another year or two. No, for one more year, play with his son, Bronny, and see if they can win one with Luka. But the Warriors, I do expect to continue to be consistent about this pursuit in LeBron through the trade deadline. Whether something happens or not, I do think is going to be up in the air depending on how the season starts for the Lakers with Luka, because it's clear as day. It is clear as day that Luka is the next face of the Lakers, and he's going to be the one that takes over for LeBron in the next couple of years, if he's not doing so already. It already seems like the Lakers are building this team to support Luka, what he does, how he plays, and the best team that they can put around them. It's an interesting thought. I do think it's an interesting thought getting LeBron teamed up with Steve Kerr, who he has a relationship with from the U.S. national team in the Olympics. Same with Steph Curry. You get those boys together, and then you get Draymond just decking people. That's intriguing. You want to talk about ratings? That'll get them ratings up for the NBA. You get a super team like that going. I mean, talk about a nice run there. And it does appear that he is almost content, maybe not getting another ring and, retiring a Laker. Just from his comments and everything, he did that one podcast a couple months ago where he was talking about ring culture and, why do we only, talk about how great someone was with how many rings they have? Because he knows he ain't going to catch Kobe. He ain't going to catch Michael. Or unless he's caught Kobe. I can't remember. I'll get those numbers later. But he's already trying to, downplay that. And so part of him doesn't believe that he's going to, win with the Lakers. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry about that. But he clearly believes at some level that he's not going to win another ring before he retires. Or that reality is starting to set in for him when he sees what this young Cavs team's doing, what this young Thunders team's doing, what this young Pacers team's doing. And, he's looking around and he's playing with guys he came up in the league with their kids, you know what I mean? And that's got to be rough for him. But outside of that, his production hasn't really fallen. The amount of games he's played has, and that's going to come with age, even though he spends so much body and, allegedly maybe takes some steroids or HGH or something because he has to at this point. And I mean, and let's be real, that is the biggest not talked about story in the NBA. Like, I would pay money to have LeBron James take a piss test. Honestly, you can't tell me he ain't on anything. But again, whole other story. But it seems like he may be, questioning the ability to win another title. And let's be real, if LeBron James is getting traded anywhere, LeBron James knows about it. Or if anyone asks for a trade that includes LeBron James knows about it, and he's going to be asked what he wants to do. Because he's LeBron James, and the NBA is a player league. And again, the Lakers might be at a point, hey, we can just go ahead and move on from LeBron. We've got Luka. We don't need LeBron anymore. Luka can do the rest. We're good to go. And so there could be, and I think there might be interest from the Lakers to move on from LeBron and go to the Warriors. I think the interest isn't on LeBron's side. He wants to retire a Laker, play with his son. And so maybe the Warriors work out a 2-player trade and just send Bronny to the G League. I don't know. But, it's an interesting thought because obviously the Warriors, if they got LeBron James, they would shoot up probably to the number one, predicted to win the finals. And which would be absolutely on brand and warranted. Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, you got Steph Curry, LeBron James on the same team. And it's not an all-star game. Yeah, that's going to be very dangerous. But it's not happening right now. I don't think this is the last time we're hearing about this. Again, I think this is going to be something the Warriors are going to pursue through the trade deadline and at least letting the Lakers know, like, hey, we're still interested, guys. We're still interested, by the way. Has anything changed on your end? No? Okay. Call you again in a couple months. Hey, y'all are, below 500. We're competing for first in the West. Yes, does LeBron maybe want to come over now? Win one more ring and retire? Whew. It'd be interesting. It would be interesting. But no, I truly think that the Warriors will continue to check on the LeBron situation until there's nothing to check on anymore. Who knows? LeBron also said he likes playing with Steph Curry. I'm just saying. He has said that in the past. Okay. And now, granted, if we had a dime for everything LeBron James said in the past, that didn't mean shit, we'd all be very, very rich. But what you going to do? I don't think he's lying about this, though. I do think he wants to, remain a Laker through retirement. But will he? Who knows? Ooh, okay. Breaking news. Micah Parsons is with the team for the final preseason game tonight against the Falcons. Someone shouts, "Come to the Falcons," and Micah Parsons makes a call me gesture. I can pull this up. I forget I'm on my computer. There he is. Look at him. Clearly eaten. I mean, is he wearing Cowboys? He looks completely fatigued. Doesn't want to be there. That's sad. Ooh. Whew. Okay. Other sources coming out saying Micah Parsons told Jerry Jones that he wants to play for Dan Quinn and Dan Quinn only. Cowboys and Commanders are working through details as we speak. I don't know about that. That seems bullshit, actually. Yeah, it's bullshit. Never mind. Scratch that one. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild, the whole Micah Parsons thing, but we'll see what happens. It's going to clearly be nothing good. All right. Well, I'm going to take a quick break real quick, and then we will get started with the fantasy football marathon. I'm just going to be doing a bunch of mock drafts. Got this last time until I'm out of town for a week, and I'm not going to be able to prep for fantasy draft with the family, which is when I get back. I'll be live for that draft. Don't you worry. But so we're going to go ahead, crank out a nice little marathon and get it going. Whoops. I'm the Brofict one, AJ, and I'll be right back. And we are back. What is up, D-Gens? Brofict1 AJ here. Just got into a draft room. We are ready to go with a little 12-man mock draft to get the mock marathon started. Going to get as many in as possible until my brain is fried. And so should be a good one here to end Friday, get into the weekend. I'm excited. I'm excited. So we're going to get into this room here in a moment. We got a minute 47 until we're allowed in. And then we'll get cooking, baby. And you might be wondering, like, AJ, we've done so many 10-man. Like, why are you doing 12 all of a sudden? Well, I rechecked the team stuff and, the league stuff. And, yeah, it's a 12-man league. So I got to get ready for that. So that's where we're at with that. Is anyone else pumped for college football tomorrow? I know I am. Oh, shit. Yeah. All right, minute 02. I Why don't we just take... Ooh, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Steelers first round draft pick defensive tackle Derek Harmon ruled out with a knee injury last night, diagnosed with an MCL sprain. Sources say expected to be out about a month, which makes him a candidate to be on the IR. Begin the year on the IR. It was thought to be a lot, and this is being reported by Ian Rappaport. Thought to be a lot worse last night. So glad to hear it's not as not as serious as it was initially thought. Not only for Derek Harmon, but for the Steelers and their defensive line, who will definitely be needing him. So shout out to him. Thoughts and prayers, brother. Good luck on the road to recovery. You will kick its ass. I know it. All right. Let's get in this draft room, see where we are drafting from to start this one off. Ooh, we are going to be pick 11. Okay. Not bad. I like it. So pick 11, I mean, we're probably looking in the Puka Nacua, CMC, Ashton Jeanty, Derrick Henry range. And if you've watched this before, you know I'm very high on Derrick Henry. Taking him in the first or second round if available. I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to fall for me. All the drafts I've been in, it's been so chalky. Like those first, I would say about to say 5 picks is any mix of, Jamar, Bijan, Justin Jefferson, Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs. It's just a mix of those 5, usually in the top 5 spots. Every once in a while, some Cowboys fan will pick CeeDee Lamb in those spots, but I have seen Puka go as high as 5, as high as 4. CMC, I've seen him go as high as 3 in one draft. All right, yeah, Jamar Chase off the board to start us off. Bijan off the board. Saquon off the board. CD. Jahmyr Gibbs, okay. Justin Jefferson. If I can get Amon-Ra and then hope that Derrick Henry or Jeanty is available at 14. No, Amon-Ra's gone. Okay. CMC's off the board. All right. So Puka and Neighbors are probably gone next. Or Puka and Henry's probably gone next. I know people, Neighbors, okay. People are concerned about Matt Stafford and that back. I totally get it, but like, I also don't get it because he's healthy. I think it seemed to be a lot about nothing, and it still seems to be a lot about nothing. He's got a solid O-line. I don't think he's going to be getting hit that much. He gets a blindside hit. Yeah, that's probably going to sting a little bit more than it should, but nothing I'm... Ashton Jeanty, okay. Derrick Henry's going to be gone. I'm going to take Henry. Puka Nacua, I wouldn't have hated either. So that means I'm probably going Josh Jacobs with my next pick and just running out my running back room. Because I'm not that hype on Brian Thomas Jr. or the Jags in general. A.J. Brown and Drake London don't excite me. I know the Dolphins will end up running the ball a lot, but I liked what Josh Jacobs did last year and think with another year under his belt in this system, he's going to continue to develop as that guy and be that guy. So I like it. Going to miss out on Bowers and McBride, but that's okay. It's a pretty deep... Like, if you look at this draft as a whole and fantasy draft in 2025, it is a fairly deep running back class and tight end class. And like I've been saying, I think the NFL is slowly switching back to a run-first league and make sure you got a good O-line, make sure you got a running back, and let's do it. The air raid will always be there, and there'll always be teams that will stick with the air raid, and that's not a bad thing. But it does feel like it's getting moved towards a more run-heavy league right now. I only say that because, the teams that have won the Super Bowl the last couple of years have had two things: a really good run game and a really good defense. All righty. So we got running backs figured out. Probably go wide receiver in the third round. Fourth round, we'll see what wide receivers are available, but might be looking at a tight end. We'll see. Because Trey McBride sure as hell ain't going to fall to me. Kyron Williams, they're going to be using him a lot this year. He's going to have a big fantasy year. Okay. So if you want to know how bad it's going with the Cincinnati Bengals right now, here's a story coming out. And again, just a story, maybe a rumor. The Bengals may have sent their Ring of Honor inductees an email and 2 game tickets for their induction, but they would not cover their airfare or hotel. Again, just a rumor. And I say it's just a rumor. I'm not taking it as fact, but also it's possible. All right, here we go. What are we looking at? I would take a swing at Mike Evans probably. Because I think if I want Devontae will be available at 38. I don't think anyone's going to take Devontae. A lot of people think he's washed and think he's not. I think he's going to be a good number 3 option for Matthew Stafford. And, the last couple of teams, since he's left the the Cardinals, and I know he was on the Chiefs, but he wasn't used a lot with the Chiefs. He's good. He's still very good at what he does, and I think he's going to continue to keep that moving. I'm not going to take Scary Terry because we don't know if he's playing or not. I don't really want to go George Kittle or Xavier Worthy. I'll go DK. A little bit of a reach, but I didn't like the options that were presented with me at the time. And there's better tight ends in this draft than George Kittle that are going to be available. I don't even need to take one in round 5. I can probably wait till round 11 if I wanted to take a tight end. Oh wow, no, that whole Bengals story is confirmed actually. Pay for own flights, hotel, and extra tickets to Ring of Honor ceremony. Wow. Yep, that's the state of the Cincinnati Bengals right now. All right, we've got a minute. Alrighty. All right, we're coming up here. I don't need another wide receiver. Might go tight end here, but I probably won't. If no one picks up James Conner, I'd probably throw him in my flex. I think the Cardinals are going to end up running the ball a lot. Be good at establishing the run and then letting Kyler do his thing. Get a little crazy out there. Is James Conner really going to keep falling? No, I didn't think so. So where do we go from here? Okay, I'll go. I'll probably go if Zay Flowers is available. I'll go with Flowers, and then I'll go with Laporta at 62. Nope, Zay Flowers isn't available. I'm on the clock. Let me go ahead and pick up Laporta here. Give me a minute to think. Because now I'm thinking maybe Jerry Jeudy. I don't hate ripping Baker Mayfield here at 62. Because I'm really, I'm not a fan of who else is up there. I think the Bears are going to be dog shit. I'm worried about Miami as a whole. That team just seems fractured. And again, Devontae doesn't interest me at all. So we'll see how this goes. Ooh, Giants release 8 players ahead of Tuesday's roster. No big names. Zach Pascal, wide receiver, getting released, but it is what it is. All right. So we've got pretty much we need a flex. If Matthew Golden can fall to me, that would be great. I'd be okay with Chris Godwin too. Like me some Godwin. Whew. All right, per Front Office Sports, a little to baseball real quick. Projection for their new media rights deal with, NBC, Netflix, ESPN, maybe Apple is upwards of $550 million a year. So, we're not talking UFC money. We're not talking NFL money, but that's good money for the MLB. Shout out. No, we are not taking Travis Hunter. We'll be taking Chris Godwin. Oh, give me Jordan Addison. Give me Jordan Addison. Let me put him on the bench and hold him. Come on, baby. Thank you. And then we're just going to keep filling out this roster with dogs. And I mean, guys that'll have good seasons. We'll see what's presented with us, but I'm liking it. I like Keon Coleman this late. Keon Coleman's going to have a season. Again, Josh Allen just so good at getting all of the receivers involved since Stephon Diggs left. Alrighty, on the clock, Khalil Shakir. I think Keon Coleman's number one. Khalil Shakir's a clear number two, and I think he's going to get a lot more of the share of throws and attention, and not a bad guy to keep on your bench. No, that might be too long. I'll go with Brian Robinson Jr. I think he's going to get a fair amount of touches. Like I mentioned, when we were talking about it earlier in the show, I think it's going to be a running back by committee. CMC is going to get the boatload of it and going to get most of the first looks and going to be out there for a lot of those, screen plays and stuff. But Isaiah Guerendo and Brian Robinson Jr. are going to get fair share of looks as well. So keep a look on there. I like Tank Bigsby if you can get him this late. If there is one thing I like about Jacksonville, it is the run game and Tank Bigsby. And I think they need to commit to the run more. If they can establish the run, let Trevor Lawrence settle into some play action. I mean, we'll see if Trevor Lawrence can be an actual quarterback in this league. All right, what are we going to be looking at here? I should probably get a running back. Or tight end here if I can. I don't hate Trey Benson as a good backup. I'm going to go Zach Charbonnet, actually. I think he's going to have an incredible season. And over Tyler Spears, we don't know what we're getting with Cam Ward. Trey Benson, I mean, he's going to be second to James Conner, which isn't terrible. Ooh. I'm going to reach a little bit for Hunter Henry as a backup tight end. Drake May liked him a lot last year, and I think he's going to like him a lot this year too. The Patriots, like we've talked about, they're going to be a better team this year. They're not going to be all the way back. They're going to be a better team, though, and win more games probably than they did last year. So we'll see. I think Vrabel's going to have those boys going in the right direction. Hell of a coach he was. I remember how much of a shock it was when the Titans fired him, and everyone was like, What the hell? Really? Why would you do this? Crazy stuff. All right, what are we going to be looking at next here? I need 2 more spots, defense and kicker. I might snag another quarterback. And I don't hate, like, I know a lot of people aren't fans of having 2 quarterbacks on your roster, but either you are saving yourself, I'll go Ray Davis. You're saving yourself by, not having to scramble for one last second. Go QB. Take a flyer on Bryce Young. I loved what he did at the end of the season last year, and I think it's going to be a lot more of the same this year. If we can get the Bills defense, that would be great. If we get the Bucks defense, that would be great. Pack defense, I'd be okay with. Rams defense, I'd be fine with. Kicker. I don't know what to do with the kicker. I'm not going to lie. Let's try it. I would go Young Hoku. I think Young Hoku is going to be a good kicker again. He's always just so solid. Just so solid. Oh, okay, I'm on the defense. I'm good with the Bucks D. And then Young Hoku. Not a bad draft. Not a bad draft at all. I mean, Baker Mayfield, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Sam Laporta, Chris Godwin, Buccaneers D, Young Hoku, Jordan Addison, Khalil Shakir, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Charbonnet, Hunter Henry, Ray Davis to wrap it up. Oh, and Bryce Young, excuse me. I'm not opposed to that. I think that is a solid fantasy board. Good trade bait if needed on the bench and good stuff on the starting roster. Very happy with this one. We will continue this. I am going to step away and take a quick break, and then we will get into another mock draft. I'm the Bro 51 AJ. See you guys in a moment. And we are back. What's up, D-Gens? We do have another draft room that we are about to get into. This one is a Pro 10 league. So let's see what it goes. We'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll be number 2. Maybe we won't. We shall. Well, it says we're going to be 2. So hopefully we are 2. That'd be nice. So let's get it going. All right, we will be picked 2. So I will be probably going Saquon Barkley in this situation. Again, I think he's going to have a better year than Bijan. Jamar Chase is going to go number 1. And I'm not comfortable taking Justin Jefferson because of J.J. McCarthy and just not knowing what he's going to bring to the table or what he's going to do. So I'm going to probably go Saquon here as long as he doesn't go number 1. And we will just start it off from there and keep it moving. You know how it goes. So we shall see. Draft is about to start. 15 seconds left. Locked and loaded. Let's get it going. Let's get drafting. Alrighty. Yep. Jamar Chase. Saquon Barkley. Now we got a minute. Jahmyr Gibbs. I like that pick. And we'll see what's available. I mean, we might be looking at a situation where like Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride are available. And if Bowers is available, more than likely going to go with him. I like the matchup he has with Geno Smith. I like that Geno Smith is going to be under center. The Raiders have a real, they're going to be quietly better this year. It's not going to be any drastic changes. I still don't have them finishing well in that division or in that conference in general. And I'm not saying they're a playoff team this year at all, but I do think they're starting to get the pieces there. I mean, they've got a running back in Ashton Genty. They've got a tight end in Brock Bowers. They've got it on defense, and then maybe they get Trey Hendrickson too. This team, Pete Carroll's worked with, Geno before too, so that's a good thing. Tom Brady seems to know what he's doing. I mean, they're cooking. They are cooking. Alrighty, yeah, it does look like we're going to be in a situation where it's going to be, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Brock Bowers. So it's really just going to kind of depend who goes because I have my picks so close together here for 2-3. Collins. I'm assuming Thomas is going to be next. And then Henry probably. If I could get a 1-2 punch of Henry and Bowers, that would be awesome. The thing is, though, I would. All right, Henry's off the board, so it doesn't matter. But if I was in a position where it's Henry or Bowers, I would take Bowers in this spot and just hope Henry sits to 22. If he doesn't sit to 22, then I'm okay with Josh Jacobs or Bucky. And that's how I'm going to kind of play this one here. Trey McBride, perfect. Oh, I take Trey, not Brock. What the? Oh, that was my bad. Such a misclick. That sucks. Oh, well, we'll go Bucky Irving here. I mean, I could go Do I just hoard the top 2 tight ends in the league and put him at the flex? Sure. Damn, now I wish this was a real draft. Oh, well. But yeah, why not have a tight end in the flex? I don't think that's a terrible idea. Tight end in the flex. I mean, especially if it's a 1-2 punch of Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. I mean, that's not a light. That's a tough tight end room. I mean, they're top 2 for a reason, and I think it's going to continue that way. T. Higgins. So we need another running back, and then we got to start hoarding wide receivers too. Alrighty. All right, so Jacoby Crockett is apparently coming out as number 1 running back in Washington, which I don't think is a shock to anybody. But assume his draft stock in fantasy is about to go through the roof. And so if you were mock drafting and getting him in the 10th, 11th, 12th round, you're going to need to probably upgrade that now to a 5th, 4th round. Because that's going to be... Is he even still on the board right now? Yeah, he is still on the board. And so who knows? I mean, again, this news just kind of coming out, but I mean, if you can still snag him late, I think he's really going to be a solid, rookie and a late, sleeper for you. Not to mention the fact that, we've seen this O-line work last year, and a lot of those pieces are still there. So the O-line is going to be good. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to run that football. Austin Eckler is still going to be an option there, but I wouldn't be so keen on that. So I will be keeping an eye over the next couple of weeks of, just kind of where he's getting drafted at. Because if I can steal him late in a family draft, that would be a killer. That would just be a killer. All right, I'm back on the clock. Yeah, we'll go JSN. And then I'll go James Conner for my next running back, close out that room. And then we'll close out the wide receiver room with the next pick, and then maybe go quarterback in the 7th round, depending on who's available. Because if I can get them later, then we're going to start looking to get that bench going, brother. Oh, James Conner's gone sick. I don't hate Trayvon Henderson. I don't. I feel like right now I'd be reaching for Jacoby. Oh, shit, I'm on the clock. Oops. Trayvon Henderson. Thank you, God. Sorry, I got distracted. I thought I was reading a story, and then I realized it was NFL version of NBA Centel, so I wasted my time. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And I almost missed my draft pick. That would have been embarrassing. Just absolutely embarrassing. But all right, we'll get wide receiver next. I think we'll probably end up with like a Waddle or a Judy. Maybe a Jameson Williams. Ooh, Sam Laporta. I love that pick. Ooh, maybe I go T-Mac. Again, you guys know I'm high on T-Mac with Bryce Young. I think that's going to be a very solid pairing. And I think he's going to cook. I think both of them are going to be cooking. And part of the reason I'm a little bit more excited for, a Bryce Young draft pick and a little bit more just in general for the Carolina Panthers. Again, we saw great stuff. I mean, great stuff going on with Bryce Young. And if he took a big step like he should have this offseason, hey, put him on notice, maybe not, securing a playoff spot, but definitely maybe wild card contention. T-Mac might be reaching here. I'll go Zay Flowers then and then get T-Mac on the bench or Jameson Williams. Alrighty, come on, give me Zay Flowers. Thank you. Then we'll see. Jameson. I'll probably go Jameson, put Jameson on the bench. I could go Baker in the 7th, but I don't know, man. There's enough other quarterbacks on the roster that I don't think Baker is going to make or break a team. Always nice to have on there, and I think Baker is going to remain a top-tier quarterback, whether you like it or not, and whether anyone else is I would say a top-tier quarterback. And the Buccaneers are going to be good again this year. They're going to be good again this year. I don't know why no one wants to talk about it, but they're going to be good again this year. And yes, they play in the NFC South, which is, not very good most years, but at the end of the day, it's a good football team playing really good football, and they show off in the playoffs. And I think they're going to continue to do as such. So we are on the clock here soon. Start securing that running back room a little bit more. Probably reach. No. Because I don't want to reach for Ramondre. I'd probably pick him up in the 2nd. Again, my 82 pick in the 9th. Go Matthew Golden here, though. If he falls to me, that'd be nice. If Matthew Golden can fall to me, that'd be fantastic. And this is a rookie that I'm feeling really good about. I mean, Packers offense has been playing well in general. Matthew Golden's off the board. But Matthew Golden, that was the guy that Quinn Ewers would go to, in the playoffs and everything. Like, when in trouble, break glass, throw to Matthew Golden. And, I think that's going to be a very nice weapon for Jordan Love to have. And Matt LaFleur, I'm sure, has drawn up some very nice things for Matthew Golden. And so I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. I'll go Chris Godwin if he's on board. Ooh, and then I'll go Mark Andrews and put him on my bench. I mean, I think Caleb Johnson is going to have a season. I think Pittsburgh's going to run the ball a lot. I think it's going to be by committee. I'm actually going to go with Caleb Johnson here. And I think his output is going to be a lot better than people are expecting. So I like Caleb Johnson here. If Emeka Egbuka would have dropped to me, I would have taken him in a heartbeat too. He is going to be an absolute dog. Alrighty, what are we cooking? I mean, I'd take Ramondre Stevenson here at 99 if he'll fall to me. Like I said in the last draft, I think he is going to be a guy that the Patriots are looking to a lot this season to help him out, and had a solid season last year. You know, young quarterbacks, they love their running backs and their tight ends, and I think, I kind of want to go with Jordan Addison, though. No, we'll go Ramondre Stevenson. We'll be responsible here. And then we'll hope that Jordan Addison falls to 102 in round 11. And if you haven't watched me draft before, I'm very big on if you can get Jordan Addison, if you have all of your other positions figured out and you're happy where your lineup's at and you can afford a bench spot for 3 weeks, go get yourself Jordan Addison. Best case scenario, he sits there. You don't need him after, he serves the 3-week suspension, and after he has a big week back in that game 4, you can go ahead and use him as trade bait too to maybe tighten up a position that you need to tighten up. I think overall, if you can, drafting Jordan Addison is a huge plus and will benefit your fantasy season, not just for your team, but how it can improve your team if he's not on your team. So again, big on Jordan Addison. You just need him to have that one big. You are banking a lot on week 4, I will say. I am banking a lot on week 4 with Jordan Addison. Like, he needs to come out, have a huge week 4 after being suspended, and then that week you start just floating all the trades at a position that you need to secure, and you just move off of him. Again, if you're happy with your wide receiver room, you still want to keep him on there. I don't blame you either, but it's the JJ McCarthy of it all. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's why I'm not taking Justin Jefferson if I'm a top 5 pick, is because, yes, he is going to do well. He is going to catch balls, get touchdowns, et cetera. But at the end of the day, the wide receiver is only as good as the quarterback, and we don't know how good JJ McCarthy is going to be in the NFL. And again, he hasn't played a real snap in the NFL. This is a faster game, and he's seen it probably in practice. He's probably seen it in joint practices, but it's still not the same when they're actually hitting you and actually taking you to the ground. And so they've bet the barn. I mean, the Vikings have bet the barn on JJ McCarthy. And I will say, if there is anyone that I do trust with a rookie quarterback, a very green quarterback, it would definitely be, it would definitely be Kevin O'Connell. Oh, for sure. For sure. And honestly, the Bowers and McBride pick was just a circumstances. I wasn't a fan of the wide receivers or the running backs that were in there. It was too early to draft a quarterback or any other position. And so the guys in front of me didn't draft them. They're dumb. That's not my fault. But yeah, it would be great trade bait later in the season as well if you can do a 1-2 punch of Bowers and McBride. And that's not even a late trade bait. That is late season trade bait. That is a on the clock. I'm going to go Scatterby. I think Scatterby is going to have a big year. I'm big on Scatterby. And I mean, the Giants in general, I'm starting from what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. I think this team is going to shock a lot more teams than we're expecting. I do think this is going to be a team, and I'm not saying playoffs or anything like that. Last spot here on the bench. Quarterback. I'll go Goff as my starting quarterback. And then I'll probably put one more quarterback on the bench before I go defense kicker. But I don't remember where I was at, what I was talking about. But anyway, yeah, we're all the way back. Week 0 tomorrow. I'm so pumped. I am so pumped for Iowa State, Kansas State to kick us off. I think that's going to be a hell of a game. If you don't watch our week 0 picks, you can go watch our full slate. We do have that on the channels, but I'm all over Iowa State. If you can't tell, I liked it so much I put it on a shirt, and so I'm big on Iowa State this week. Money line, not taking the points. Let's go money line. The Avery Johnson hype is just so overplayed. Oh, McCormick's in the chat. What's good, brother? But I'm over the Avery Johnson hype. I'm over the Kansas State hype. They haven't shown me anything really in the last 2 years. They've had fine seasons, but it hasn't been anything that's been exciting. It hasn't been anything that's been good. And I'm just to the point where, like, show me. Iowa State's shown me. I think Iowa State, and especially across the pond, we all know stuff that goes on across the pond ends up being crazy. And so I don't hate that going on. What am I doing? Am I picking another QB? That's right. I am picking another QB. Last bench spot. Oh, give me Stafford. Shit, he might start over Goff depending on the week. That's dangerous. See if we can get Ravens. Yeah, I'll get Ravens defense. And then we'll go with Tyler Loop as the kicker to round it out. And then I'll probably do a real draft. This is my second mock. And so I'll probably get into a public league, make it my 11th of the season. And it's not bad now, but I do feel like my lovely, lovely wife is going to maybe get upset with me with how many fantasy teams I am managing towards later in the season, but we will find out. we will find out. Don't hate Chase McLaughlin. Don't hate Brandon Aubrey. Yep, there he goes. Tyler Bass, Jake Elliott. I wouldn't take Cairo Santos just because of double doinks and everything. And I know he didn't kick the double doink, but still, I would never take a Bears kicker. Never. So yeah, we'll end it with Tyler Loop. Quick break, and then we'll hop into a public league. But yeah, let me know in the chat if I should do a auction league, which I kind of don't want to, or just a regular snake. McCormick, who do I think the most dangerous rookies are this year? Well, as I've talked about at great length, I think T-Mac is going to be a very good addition to the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young, like we've talked about before, Bryce Young showed a lot of good qualities in a quarterback after the benching and then getting put back in. I think he's going to be a guy that really takes over for them and, is going to be almost like a safety net for Bryce Young. T-Mac is, I have compared him to Larry Fitzgerald, and I do think that is a good comp. He's one of those big, tall, strong receivers who can go up and just grab a ball. You know, he can just go up and grab a ball if it's within about 5 yards of him, and he will make an incredible catch and save your ass. You know what I mean? And I think that's great for Bryce Young to have and have a little bit more security and have a little bit more faith. If that chemistry is built like I think it has been in that locker room and between them, you know, running routes and everything, it's going to be a match made in heaven because T-Mac is unbelievable at what he does. Not only him, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, I do think is going to be a very good, dangerous rookie going into this season. There are reports coming out that he is essentially going to be replacing Austin Ekeler as the number one running back in the system, which after what he's done in the preseason, I can't imagine what he's doing in training camp when cameras aren't allowed. And so I think he's going to be a good late round pick. The last two fantasy drafts I've done, the mock drafts I've done, I have been seeing him go anywhere from 12 to 14. Those were the rounds that he was picked in. And it's very similar to prior mocks and prior drafts that I've done before. So I would start probably putting your eye on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I'd start putting your eye on him probably round 10 and then just kind of feeling out how that draft is going and then pulling the trigger on him when you feel is appropriate. But I do think that is going to be a guy that you can get on your roster late in rounds that will do a lot of damage and is going to be very good for you. So I would look out for that. Other rookies. Oh, that's hard. Those are my two favorites. I think you should take Tyler Loop. Tyler Loop, new kicker for the Ravens, drafted out of Arizona. And yes, there's two Arizona guys on my roster. Sue me. They were the two best positions we had, okay? And they happened to get drafted. And listen, I watched the pregame and halftime warmups where Tyler Loop is just casually kicking 70-yard field goals. And then I saw it with my own eyes, him kicking a 65-yarder that had a lot more. And he nailed it. And so I think Tyler Loop is going to be another rookie that you can get in the last round of the draft because he is a kicker and he's going to be putting up a lot of points. Oh, I know you know that, McCormick. I'm sorry to keep telling you, McCormick. You got to know how excited I am for Tyler Loop. You got to understand. I'm so excited for Tyler Loop because people are going to be like, Tucker, who? Who? Oh, that guy? No, he didn't really play for our team. You know, he made a couple kicks, but he wasn't that impressive. We got this new guy, Tyler Loop. This guy's legit. And that's what he is. He is legit. And so I'm excited for him. Oh, Ashton Jeanty. And yes, he is a very popular pick and probably a little too high and not a sleeper, but yeah, you're asking for rookies. He's a rookie, I think, that is really going to break out, especially in that system that they're going to be doing. Just noteworthy, man. Xavier Worthy, yeah, man. Xavier Worthy was great last year. I was all over him, too. Love Xavier Worthy. But yeah, T-Mac anytime touchdown, I think, is going to be a very popular bet going into the season. And if it's not, it should be. It should be, but who knows? Who knows what the public will be doing? But anyway, those are the rookies I'm really looking out for and hoping to grab. But I'm going to take a just 2-minute break, and then we will go ahead and get into a live draft. Yes, another fantasy team I will be managing this season. This will bring the number up to 11. And so we will be getting to that in a moment. Of course, I'm the Brofect one, AJ. Thank you to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Helps us out a lot more than you know. But I'll be right back, and we will be drafting another fantasy team. See you guys in a moment. And we are back. What's up, D-Gens? Perfect One, AJ here. And we are ready to go. We are in a 10-person PPR league draft. And yeah, McCormick, shout out to Cricket. I didn't know he did that. Hell yeah, brother. Anyone who hits a 3-leg parlay, that's a day and a half right there. Shout out to the boy Cricket. Alrighty, but yeah, minute 24 until we're getting into this draft. And we shall see how this goes. I mean, see where we're picking. Wouldn't mind being in the front. Wouldn't mind being all the way in the back. Wouldn't mind being in the middle. I kind of like the way I like all of the rosters that I've been able to turn out in every position. I feel very confident in, drafting in all these positions. And so shit. What time is it? My watch got messed up. Alrighty. Anyway. All right, 20 seconds to go. Let's get in here. Let's see what we're dealing with. Let's have a good draft. All right. 11th fantasy team of the season. Let's go. All righty. Let's lock in. Ooh, number 2. I like it. Saquon is mine. I love it. And then we will just wait. Alrighty. Yeah, get Saquon first. And then we're going to have to wait. We'll probably go Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, one of those 4 in the second round, late second, which I'm a fan of. And then this is gonna work out really well. This is gonna be a good draft. Just wait. Just wait. Ooh, Jerry Jones, new quote coming out about him. I've agreed to give more money that is guaranteed to any defensive player. So Jerry doesn't think he's bluffing when it comes to this whole thing. We'll find out. Apparently, the contract wasn't good enough, and Micah just wants out now. Who knows? Who knows? All right, we got a minute to the draft. Let's get it. I'm ready. Alrighty. That it was right on time. Alrighty. Here we go. This guy's taking a long time to draft Ja'Marr Chase. Saquon. There we go. All right, let's see how this draft's going to play out. Yep, Bijan, Justin, Jameer, CD's off next. Ooh. Ezekiel, I can't believe I'm just seeing this. Ezekiel Elliott announced this morning that he is retiring from the NFL. I mean, hey, had some great seasons. Was an absolute dog some seasons. Let's Saquon eat. Was big, but just not enough. I mean, not enough, but he did well. He did well. That's what I'm trying to get at. But anyway. Christian McCaffrey, CD Lamb off the board. Again, I think I'm going to be sitting in that Genty, Henry, Bowers, McBride kind of area in my round 2 pick. And whichever position I don't pick, then I'll pick in the 3rd. Ooh, yeah, there's Genty. We won't be in Genty range. Josh Jacobs range, I guess. Yeah, Genty's climbed up this board compared to like last week or the week before. Just in rankings and, where he's getting drafted at. So if you want Genty, you're going to have to pick him early. Alrighty. Yeah, probably going to go Jacobs here. And then see if McBride sticks around. No, I'll probably go McBride and then see if Jacobs can stick around for 22. Him or JT. Or Bucky, actually. I'd be fine with Bucky at 22. Because I just don't want to take any risk that McBride's not going to be there. What is this guy going to do? Alrighty. Come on, dude. Pick a guy. All right, I'm on the clock. Yeah, we're going to go McBride here. And then hope that Jacobs falls to us. If he doesn't fall to us, I like Bucky. And I think we'll be good. I mean, one of those two is going to fall. And so I'm liking either of them getting on my roster here. And, I really don't hate Trey McBride here in the second. I really don't. I mean, there's a lot of good tight ends in this league that are going to be used very well this season. It's just, I think Trey McBride's going to have again, I think the Cardinals are going to have a big year. So that's why I think Trey McBride's going to have a big year, because the Cardinals don't have a big year if Trey McBride doesn't have a big year. We'll go Josh Jacobs here. Had an incredible first season with the Pack. I like keeping him on the roster. Alrighty, we got some time now. CMC going late. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at. There we go. Now we're up to date. Joe Burrow in round 3. That is very aggressive. I mean, yeah, no, I do hate the pick. I'm not going to lie. That's just too early. And I get it. He's going to throw a lot of touchdowns. He's going to look good this season. He's going to be an MVP candidate this season. But I don't think it's worth it. I think there's so many, not better players, but you can get a quarterback just later in rounds that will do adequate to Joe Burrow. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to win you a season. Nice addition, but should be later. Alrighty, what are we coming up on? 39. Need wide receivers. I'd be good with JSN. I'd be good if Devontae falls, but he won't. I'll take JSN. Maybe if James Conner, I'll go 1-2 punch. James. Oh no, those are running backs, not wide receivers. LOL. Reach a little for Mike Evans. I'm fine with that. And then I'll probably go running back with that second. No, I'll go running back with that second pick. Probably James Conner in the flex. And then go with a receiver with that second pick and reach a little bit for Mike Evans. I don't hate that. So let's see what happens here. we'll go James Conner here. I like it. Fill out that flex again. I mean, I could have gone JSN, but I'm going to try to go JSN in this next pick if he's still available. Actually, no, I'm still going to reach for Mike Evans. You know, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I just don't trust Sam Darnold. You know, and wow, I'm just talking about him. Is ESPN, like, is the AI picking up on what I'm saying with the new updates and everything? But you know, JSN, he's a good receiver. I'm not gonna try to downplay him at all as a player. He is a baller, and his route running is great. His ball handling is great. Not trying to dog the guy whatsoever. The issue is his quarterback is Sam Darnold, a guy who is notorious for seeing ghosts. And don't get me wrong, he played well under Kevin O'Connell with unbelievable weapons on either side of him. Seattle's offensive line does leave a little bit to worry for me. And I don't know if Darnold is going to be able to recreate the magic he had with the Vikings. And I mean, especially considering we saw him, regress back into a lot of his old tropes and a lot of what he used to do, seeing the ghost and how bad he was playing. Like, that's still in him. Let's be very clear about it. Granted, we had to wait till, the last couple games of the season and then the postseason for anyone to see it, but it is still there, and it is still something you need to be concerned about. And that's why I'm a little hesitant to draft a lot of guys, any receiver or tight end out of Seattle. I don't know if I can trust. I don't know if I can trust Sam Darnold to make those throws, get those guys involved, and do what they need to do in order to win football games. That's where I'm at. And again, I might be, and again, it's not that I don't think Sam Darnold, I'm sorry. I'm thinking two different things now. Don't worry about it. All good. All right, what are we going to be looking at? I still need a wide receiver. I wouldn't mind going Zay Flowers here. We'll see if he's available. Yeah, we'll go Zay Flowers here. Then we get to start working out the bench. I like that. Probably snipe another tight end in round 7. Just to keep on the bench, trade bait, all that fun stuff. All right, here we go. We'll go Zay Flowers here. We'll wait on a tight end. What running backs are available? We'll go David Montgomery. I like that. I like that a lot. Here we go. Come on, give me Montgomery. Yeah, I'll wait at least until the 8th for a QB. Minimum. I don't like drafting quarterbacks really until I get into double digits. But I don't know, man. I think Kyler's going to have a big season. It seems to be the most composed, the most mature version of Kyler we've seen so far. And not only that, he didn't play awful last season. You know, my biggest complaint about him was that he didn't run the ball enough. And he acknowledged the fact that he didn't run the ball enough. And as a dual threat quarterback, you need to be able to run the football. And so I think Kyler and the team, you know, Gannon and everyone understands that Kyler needs to be more involved in the run game. And I do think we will end up seeing Kyler more involved in the run game, whether it is RPOs or just him, you know, scrambling and getting 5-10 yards or whatever he does. So that's where I'm at. So I wouldn't hate, you know, an 8th, 9th round Kyler Murray. I would prefer him in the 10th. I don't think he'll fall to the 10th, but again, I have Kyler Murray as a potential MVP candidate this season. And I don't think that's being overzealous. Like he is a dog, you know what I mean? And we have seen him be a dog, but it's been very case by case. The system hasn't worked. People have been injured. He's been injured, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can make excuses a mile long, but at the end of the day, like Kyler is at the point, I think, of maturity with how long he's been in the NFL now, how old he is now, and everything. Like, he gets it. It feels like he gets it. It feels like the switch has flipped for Kyler from, I don't know about him to, okay, I get it now. Like, I get it. And you wait for that switch to flip with any quarterback, you know, whether it's week 1 of their first starter, whether it's now fucking 6-7 years into a contract with a guy. But it does seem like the switch has flipped and he's figured it out. So let's hope that I'm not delusional. But I might be just desperate also for an Arizona team to do something that's worth a damn. Which I know. Sue me for wanting an Arizona team to be somewhat good. It's terrible. I get it. What are we going to do, brother? What we going to do? All right. Ooh, can we get T-Mac to fall? I'll keep T-Mac on my bench nice and warm. If it's not him, I'll probably go Matthew Golden. And then probably get Kyler there in the 9th round. And I mean, the Cardinals also have a very easy schedule to start the season. Like, it would not shock me if they end up starting 4-0, 5-0. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's, you know, convincing numbers. Yep, T-Mac's available. Boom, baby. And then I'll go Kyler here in the 9th. Again, I'm not happy about it. He's gonna go. And so we're good there. I will say I am beyond shocked at how high Travis Hunter is going. it's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk reward is not worth it. Not only has Trevor Lawrence not proven himself as a quarterback since he's been in this league, but he's going to be playing both ways allegedly, and if he does end up playing both ways, he's gonna. The NFL's different, man. The NFL's different. I'm sure he has the gas in the tank to go, but at some point, man, something's going to give. Something is going to give. It might not be while he's young, but at some point. And, the way Trevor Lawrence is, the way that O-line is looking, I'm not confident in Travis Hunter having a productive season on the wide receiver end of not only fantasy football, but in the NFL in general. And again, I think the world of Travis Hunter. I mean, he's a dog. He is an absolute dog, wanting to play both ways in the NFL, doing it in college, and being okay at both, and better, I would say, again, better cornerback than receiver. But we'll see how they end up using him. And they've come out and said, like, yeah, no, we're going to be using him both ways. That is going to happen. I get that, but at some point, something's got to give. Something has got to give when it comes to Travis Hunter. And he did end up going in the 9th. Oh, no, in the 10th, excuse. No, 9th, late 9th. 8th pick in the 9th. Not worth it. I don't care what rankings say. Ooh, if I can get Ramondre Stevenson on the bench, I'd be a happy man. Hit Ramondre Stevenson and then Jordan Addison. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm a big fan of that, actually. All right, there we go. Ramondre. On the clock. Oh, wow. Jordan Addison was taken. That's a bummer. I do like Khalil Shakir. I'll take that. Probably pick up another tight end coming up in this next batch of picks. Pick up a tight end, a quarterback, or no, a tight end. And then we'll see between a wide receiver and a running back. And then I do want to pick up one more quarterback before I go into defense and kicker. Yeah, if I can get Tucker Kraft late 12, I'm good with that. And then, I mean, honestly, I might put Tucker Kraft at the flex. I mean, James Conner is going to be solid. This might be one of the better teams I've put together. See where we go from here. Alrighty. So, yeah, I think Tucker Kraft is going to be in the bag there. And then maybe a wide receiver. I don't mind Josh Downs. I'm not going to lie. So maybe we go Josh Downs first and then go for a receiver. Or I could get Cam Scatterby. I'm good with Trey McBride. I'll pick up someone during the bye week. I'll go Josh Downs, Cam Scatterby. I like that 1-2 punch right there. That's ridiculous that they fell. Let's see where we go here. Justin Fields. Who the fuck is picking Justin Fields in the 12th round? I am sorry. That is a round 16 pick if I've ever seen one. Here we go. Oh, Josh Downs got taken. That sucks. That's fine. We'll go Cam Scatterby, and then I might go tight end. I probably will go tight end. Yeah. Cam Scatterby. They'll put Tucker Kraft on the bench. Get another quarterback in the 14th round. And then wrap it up with kicker and defense. Like this draft. I like this draft a lot. Kyler Murray, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Trey McBride, James Conner. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a Cardinals-heavy draft. I did not notice I did that until I just read that off. But that's where we're at right now. David Montgomery, T-Mac, Ramondre Stevenson, Khalil Shakir, Cam Scatterby. I'm not upset. That's for sure. I am not upset. Whoops. Sorry, the wife was asking questions, so I got to answer the wife. Ooh, Brandon Aubrey. Still early for a kicker. I'm sorry. It's still very early. Alrighty. So we'll go QB with this pick. Probably get Stafford or Stroud on the roster. I'm a fan of that. Well, you got a friend in me. All right, they are taking a minute to draft the end of their rosters. My goodness. Pat Fryermuth, I like that pick late. So we'll see how this draft winds up. I'll take a quick break. Just need to refill my water after this draft. And then we will rock into one more, probably, maybe two more. We'll see how it goes. But I'm liking the way my drafts have been turning out. And so we'll get one more quarterback here. Probably Matt Stafford, put him on the bench. And then wrap it up with defense and a kicker. Probably go defense here in round 15. Go with the Ravens D. I like it. I like it a lot. Alrighty, there we go. Matt Stafford here. Ravens defense, and then we're going to go with the boy, Tyler Loop. There we go. Ravens here. Wrap it up with Tyler Loop, and that is a solid lineup where I'm going to be working with Kyler Murray, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Trey McBride, James Connors, Ravens defense, David Montgomery, T-Mac, Ramondre Stevenson, Khalil Shakir, Cam Scattaboo, Tucker Kraft, and Matthew Stafford. I like it. I like it a lot. That is for sure. For sure. We love what we're seeing. But yeah, just have Tyler Loop, second to last pick, and I think we're going to be chilling. And it's going to take a minute, apparently. It is going to take a minute. But it's all good. We're chilling. Then we'll get another draft under the belt, and we'll go from there. Ooh, I fall apart. And here we go. Tyler Loop with the last pick. And this is a solid team here. Again, unintentionally Cardinals heavy. But luckily, we have a great bench to round it out and can do a lot of trade baits coming into the season. So I do like it. I like it a lot. All right, perfect. Again, love this draft. Saquon, Trey McBride, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, David Montgomery, T-Mac, Kyler Murray, Ramondre Stevenson, Khalil Shakir, Cam Scatterbo, Tucker Kraft, Matthew Stafford, Ravens D, and Tyler Loop. I love this team we're hitting right now. I love it. I love it. Well, I am going to step away for a hot sec. We're going to refill real quick and get it going. And then I will be back, draft another fantasy. Find out. But thank you all again for listening and watching. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit the follow button. It does help us out a lot more than you know. I'm the Brofict One AJ, and I'll see you guys in a moment. And we're back. What's up, D-Gens? We are 25 seconds away from the next fantasy football draft. Here we go, getting ready for it, ready to rock and roll. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Here we go. Entering the draft room. Let's do it. Pick number 1. Wow. I'll go chalk. I'll go Jamar. Got to go chalky a little bit. And I'm not upset. And then we've got a while to wait for the next one. So let's see how this goes. I have not been number 1 in a long time. As we wait for the draft to start, I'm just seeing if there's any news coming out. There's no news coming out. There we go. All right, 1 minute. All righty, 45 seconds until Jamar Chase is mine. Although I do kind of want to go Saquon, but I have Saquon in so many leagues. So I'm going to go ahead and change it up on this one and get Jamar Chase. Here we go. Drafting Jamar Chase. I won't make him wait for that one. All right, so we got a while now until that next pick comes in. All righty. Wow, these guys are taking a minute to draft these guys. Alrighty. You're electric. All right. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, I haven't been at number one in a long time. And so I'm interested to see who's available. I'm sure I'll be kind of around the Brock Bowers, Trey McBride area, which I'm fine with. And we'll be good to go. But we got to wait a long time for those picks to come through. CMC, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua. Again, we're just seeing a lot of the same in these early rounds. And so your impact's going to come in those late rounds. You know, you're like, go and get those guys that you know are going to be good, even if it's reaching a little bit, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. I might go running back here. Running back, tight end. Probably running back, tight end. Because I think I can get either Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry or Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. 1-2 punch there. Probably go Josh Jacobs, Brock Bowers if it goes my way. All right, here we go. Okay, Josh Jacobs, Trey McBride. I'm fine with that. Or Trey McBride, Bucky Irving. If I don't get Trey McBride, I'm going to wait on a tight end then. Go. Yep, Josh Jacobs, Trey McBride incoming. Beautiful. Love that 1-2 punch there. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm very big on that. Oh, Cricket, what's up? Good. What's up, bud? I mean, McCormick, I'm sorry. Oh, hell yeah. You had to hit the steam room, brother. Bro, I will say, shout out to my wife. She introduced me to the power of like saunas and stuff. And I will say, magical. Awesome stuff. And then I introduced her to smelling salts. Imagine this. She didn't like smelling salts as much as the sauna. But what you going to do, brother? What you going to do? On the other hand, I'm a big proponent for the smelling salts. Big proponent. Especially workout. You got a workout in. Ooh. Gets you jacked, brother. Ready for that lift. Noah hasn't done them yet. I need to get Noah to do it on a stream. Really, get it going, brother. But I mean, here we're sitting. I mean, there's going to be running backs and wide receivers available where we're going to be at. We'll fill out those positions with the next 2 picks. And I understand we'll probably be reaching on one of the positions, and that's fine with me with, the number 1 overall pick. So I'm good with that. We shall see how it goes, though. Josh Allen in the 4th round and Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry. Jaden Daniels in the 3rd. Like, I get it. They are good quarterbacks, going to be in the MVP conversation, but I don't think there's a reason you're drafting a quarterback in the top 5. It doesn't make any sense to me. So all right, what are we going to be looking at? James Cook, I wouldn't be upset with. I'd probably go James Conner. No, we already have a Cardinal, so I'd probably go Trayvon Henderson for running back. Wide receiver, I really don't want. We don't know where Terry's playing. I'm not hype on Justin Fields at all or that Jets team. I know a lot of people are. I don't see it. So I'll go Mike Evans and Trayvon Henderson. Not reaching that much, reaching a little bit. And yeah, I could get Joe Burrow, but I think he's going to have a good year. He's going to be MVP caliber again. I don't think it's worth drafting him this early. But James Cook should have a good season. Like, I'm not worried about that whatsoever. I just think Trayvon is going to get used a lot more and is going to be a lot more prevalent in the scheme. So that's where I'm at. We'll see if this plan, I think this plan will come together nicely. And, don't get me wrong. It's nice to have the number 1 overall pick, but it is also one of those things that is kind of a bummer because you got to wait so long for your next pick and you got to deal with a bunch of other shit. Yeah, Mike Evans. And then Trayvon Henderson. There we go, baby. Fill out the flex next. We'll go a little bit more best available on that, but would prefer a running back. Not going to be upset with a wide receiver or a tight end, depending on the tight end. But again, I think my next backup tight end isn't going to get drafted until like the 12th round. So just where I'm at, brother. Just where I'm at. Ooh, breaking news in the sports media world. Something that nobody asked for whatsoever. First things first, to be moving to 3 hours, including Danny Parkins now, and finalizing the full FS1 lineup, which will include the new Barstool show as well. All right, so do they have the full schedule? No, they don't, but it doesn't matter. Who's going to watch it? I mean, I'm interested to see what the Barstool show is that CBS is going to be, FS1 is going to be running every day and how that goes together. I do think, I think the world of Barstool, there's very talented people there who are very good at what they do. Pardon my take is a daily listen on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sports Advisors is entertaining as hell, and they have a lot of good content out there. I'm just interested to see how that translates to TV over a podcast with, commercial breaks and everything like that. And they do commercial breaks, but when you're podcasting and stuff, you can kind of time it out so that it's a natural, kind of break in conversation or something like that, instead of, just trying, you have a hard out in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And so I'm interested to see how that's going to go, but I think it's going to go well. I mean, I think ESPN missed out on not doing that. You want to do another mock 14-team PPR? Whoo! I don't think ESPN offers that. I think the highest they go is 12, or else I would. That's where I'm at, Brian. 7. If you can confirm they do it 14, I'd do a 14, but ESPN does 7, and I'm not going to log into NFL because I don't like their UI. I'm not going to be on. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like their UI whatsoever. All right, so where are we going to go next? We got to fill out the flex. Late in the 6th, we're looking at Zay Flowers, Courtland Sutton, Devontae Smith, and Jerry Jeudy more than likely. I'll probably go with Jameson Williams. I'm not looking to get DeAndre Swift or any Bears offensive players really on this roster at all. They got 14, bro? All right, Brian. We'll see how long this draft takes, and then we'll look at it. The issue I'm running into is my wife might be coming home soon, and I've already been live for 3 hours. I don't know how I'm going to explain that one to her. All right, Baker Mayfield again. There is no reason to be drafting a quarterback before round 10. And I know what past results, they go up to 16. I just haven't noticed that. I feel stupid, Brian. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Did my first auction draft yesterday. That was miserable. Like, I get the intrigue and stuff. I think it works better with Dynasty, but I don't like it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of it. That's just a personal thing. I get why people like it, but definitely a better Dynasty thing than anything, I would think. I am not liking what's available. Just a lot of mediocre. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen their upside. We've seen their downside. Now we're here. I'm probably going to go Zay Flowers with my first pick. And then I'll reach for Chris Godwin. I know I said I was going to take Jameson Williams, but I think Zay Flowers is going to have a more productive year than Jameson Williams. I do think some defenses. Brian, I like where your head's at, brother. I do in fact like where your head's at. But yeah, I mean, Jameson Williams, I do think is going to be up there this season. I think he's going to be solid. I've been going Zay Flowers, and I think Zay Flowers is a good option here. I mean, now I'm kind of talking myself into Jameson Williams. Detroit's going to throw it more than the Ravens. So I'm going to go with Jameson Williams. We're actually going to take Zay Flowers off. I'm going to go Chris Godwin next. And a little bit of a reach. I'm not going to lie. A reach for Chris Godwin. I don't think he would have been available in the 8th round with how late I'm picking, so I'm okay with that reach. But that's just, yeah. Tight ends, maybe. I want to draft a tight end, backup tight end, but like the guys I want: Tyler Warren, Tucker Kraft, Jake Ferguson, Hunter Henry, Dalton Kincaid. Like, we can get those in later rounds. So I'm just going to stack up on wide receivers. I mean, is there a quarterback worth taking? No, I'm in the same position I was in the last draft with Kyler Murray, kind of in the 8th round, but we know we can get him at a 9th. So 9th or a 10th. So why would we worry? And if we miss him, it's fine. There's so many talented quarterbacks that would be still available. I'm fine with it. And then I'm picking defense and kicker last. Will you take Henry over Jacobs? PPR easily, or is it close? Like Hunter Henry over Josh Jacobs? If that's the conversation, I would take Josh Jacobs. Just because of the not only the proven production, but what that O-line brings for the Packers. It's an O-line that doesn't get talked about enough, but they know how to make those gaps for Josh Jacobs and to get him going. So, yeah, I would take Josh Jacobs over Hunter Henry. I do think Hunter Henry is going to have a good season. I think the Patriots are still going to go through growing pains. I think too many people are expecting them to bounce back immediately to dynasty status, but it's going to take a couple more years. This is only Vrabel's first year, and so I do think the Patriots will be better than they were in seasons past, but it's not going to be, Derrick Henry over Josh Jacobs. Well, that changes everything. That changes everything. I'm sorry. I think it's close. I'm not going to lie. I think it's close. I've had multiple drafts. Again, I'm the owner now of, this is my 13th fantasy team, I believe. And multiple live drafts I've been in that position of Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs. And I will say I take Derrick Henry if he's available. I'll leave it at that. If I don't have an option with Josh Jacobs, I think Josh Jacobs' upside for you over the year is going to be better than Derrick Henry. They use Derrick Henry fine, and I like the way they use Derrick Henry. I just think Josh Jacobs is going to get more looks and more touches with the production he had last year and the production he is projected to have this year. I see the Packers relying on that run game to set up the play action and to, getting Matthew Golden involved, Romeo Doubs if he's still on the team. That's kind of what I see there. So I would probably pick Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry. I know that's probably a hot take. But again, I wouldn't look down on you if you picked Derrick Henry. I think it's really a 1A, 1B situation. But Josh Jacobs is a little bit younger. He has a little less miles. I don't think it's a bad look. I really don't. Over Derrick Henry. And that's the other issue with Derrick Henry. You got Lamar Jackson. Jordan Love isn't going to tush push. He's not going to run it for one or anything like that. What are we at? Matthew Golden. Thank you. Thank you for falling right into my lap as I was talking about you. Next pick. I don't like any of these picks available. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll take a flyer on Caleb Johnson. I know Jaylen Warren has a lot of hype on him. I think Caleb Johnson is going to be the guy to get the production for the Steelers, and so I have no problem putting him on my bench. But finishing up with Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry, I think it's close. I don't think you're going to be upset with either guy you pick. I just think Jacobs is going to get you more yards. And if you're in a PPR, half PPR, or whatever, that matters. And Derrick Henry will get touchdowns. I think Josh Jacobs will get you more points, fantasy points. That's just where I'm at with them. But again, 1A, 1B situation. I'm not frowning on either option. If that is those are your options, late first, early second, like you're in a very good spot. Brian, I disagree. And I think Bryce Young, if you're looking at a quarterback, you want to wait until the last round to draft a quarterback or second to last round to draft a quarterback and make sure your wide receiver, running back, and tight end room is really up to date. The growth we saw out of Bryce Young after the benching was significant. And now with a full offseason under control, like there is no doubt he is the starting quarterback there. The Panthers drafting T-Mac, who is an unbelievable wide receiver, is going to be his number one option coming down there. I mean, listen, this Panthers team is ready to, I think, start to get momentum moving forward. And so, and honestly, I'll be honest with you, Brian Seven, it's because I've seen Bryce Young play in the NFL. I have not seen J.J. McCarthy take a snap in the NFL yet. And that's why I'm staying away from, Justin Jefferson early. If I can get Jordan Addison in a, round 11, round 12, I'll take him since he's suspended. I have no problem putting him on my bench, using him for trade bait later. But I'm worrisome. And I know how good of an offense that is. Like, you don't need to tell me twice how good of an offense that is and how well they run. But again, JJ hasn't taken a snap in the NFL, and the Vikings are putting all their faith into him. When in Michigan, he was just asked to hand the ball off a lot. Would I pair Bryson, JJ with like a T-Law or a Stroud? I probably more Stroud than anything. Listen, I've been a Trevor Lawrence supporter since he got drafted. I said when he got drafted, he's with the Jaguars. This is a bad team. This is a bad organization. Give him 4 to 5 years. And he will be a top 10 quarterback in this league. And here we are, and he's not. And, granted, there was the Urban Meyer of it all, but still, it hasn't been good stuff what we've been seeing out of the Jaguars. And no, I don't think the Travis Hunter draft pick is going to do anything more than sell tickets, because the rest of the team is dog shit. You know what I mean? And so Trevor is going to be a classic case of woulda, shoulda, coulda, or he's going to go to another team after this contract with the Jaguars and just blow up. It's one of the two, and I'm leaning more towards he goes to another team that actually knows how to run a football team. But anyway, that's what if you're going to pick Bryce and JJ, I would pair it with Stroud. And I know there is some talk about Stroud regressing this year and everything. I mean, he had a quote unquote bad season last year, but everyone and their mom was injured on that team, and that does affect the offense. And so I think Stroud still played great football last year. I think he's going to play great football this year. I have no issue with drafting CJ Stroud as a late round quarterback. But again, all 4 of those quarterbacks that you mentioned, Brian, Bryce, JJ, Trevor Lawrence, and CJ, they're all be available for you late rounds. Right? Yeah, hold on. I don't want to draft a quarterback yet. Go Khalil. No. Go Joe Mixon. Then I'll go Addison. I like Khalil Shakir. I like Keon Coleman, but I like the trade bait more for Addison, especially since I only have 1 spot left on my bench. 2 spots left on my bench. And so I probably will go quarterback in one of these next 2 rounds, but still, J.J. McCarthy, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, and who was your last guy? Oh, Brian, I disagree, dude. Tua is good. Tua is a good quarterback. Like, I will stand by that statement. Tua is a solid quarterback. And you don't see him making too many of the dumb mistakes. You see him bombing the ball downfield. And the issue is just how that team is constructed. It's supposed to be the fastest team on turf, and it is absolutely, but there's absolutely no defense to back it up. As we've seen, they can go ahead and put up 50 points in a game. No problem whatsoever. But they spent so much money and they're worried so much about the offense that they skip on the defense. I mean, seriously, the Dolphins' defense is Swiss cheese. I mean, holes absolutely everywhere. It doesn't shock me when, they get blown out or it's a close game and it's a 45-43 game. Like, bro, that's just, that's just Dolphins football. And so, again, Tua is another one of those guys. Tua, Trevor Lawrence, guys that would benefit from a new environment. And I think there's more of an opportunity of Tua to do that than Jacksonville. I don't know why. I just feel like Jacksonville, again, Trevor Lawrence is a guy that should be solid and should be good. But, man, he just hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it, and it's killer. So, honestly, I'm going to go 1-2 punch Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and keep both of them. And then I'll pick up one more running back probably to even out my bench. No, I'll pick up a tight end to close out my bench and then go defense kicker. I like that. I like it a lot. Ooh. No, Kelce. Ingram over Kelce, that is wild, and it is a wild take. Oh, here we go. Sorry, let me get my quarterbacks real quick. Jordan Love. Jared Goff. But no, yeah, I do think that is a wild take. I'm not going to lie. For the reason being, Kansas City was injured to shit last year. Kansas City was injured to shit last year. And I understand there is worry about Kelce being distracted about, his girlfriend and all these other opportunities outside of football. But all of those other opportunities outside of football essentially end when training camp start. You know what I mean? Like, they're not pulling him in for a new commercial during a regular season week or anything. All of those have been filmed already and everything. So any new commercials or anything has long been filmed and long out of his mind, except the paycheck probably. And if the Chiefs can stay healthy on offense, if they can establish the run and let, the wide receivers develop the routes and everything, and if that O-line can hold like it has in the past, then yeah, I mean, Kelce's going to cook. Kelce's going to eat. And that's kind of where I see it trending. You know what I mean? And so don't get me wrong. I think Mark Ingram is a great tight end. I just think he has taken more of a backseat role than Travis Kelce ever will. Because Travis Kelce is Patrick Mahomes' safety blanket. Shit hits the fan. Where's Travis at? Where is Travis at? Which is fine. But again, why I would pick him over Mark Ingram. But that's where I'm at. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a bad pick either one. I just think Kelce is a bigger upside, and we've seen Kelce's upside. And I don't think he's regressing nearly as much as people think he is, or will regress as much as people think he is. But yeah, we got a couple picks left. So I'll pick probably one more running back and then close out with my defense and tight ends. If I can get Zach Charbonnet, I'm going to be a very, very, very happy man. Zach Charbonnet, and then give me Steelers defense. Yeah, brother. That's true. I understand where you're coming from. Just the way I view it, I don't see Rice being a big issue. I really don't, because again, if a play breaks down, the first person he's looking to is Kelce. And with the O-line, the way it played last year, I wouldn't be surprised for a lot of plays to break down. And so I understand where your issues are coming from, but I think that I truly believe, I truly believe the Chiefs are going to be more back to 3 years ago rather than the last time they won a Super Bowl or last year. I think they're going to be more like when they won a Super Bowl 3 years ago and be a little bit more there. But that's just where I'm at. McCormick back in the chat. What's up, bud? Dodgers money line, bets 2+ hits, Tatis 2+ runs, RBIs. Okay. Loreno home run. I like it, dude. Oh, wait, no. It's a DraftKings boost? No. Never, ever, ever have I ever taken or will ever take or endorse a sports book put together parlay. They are constructed for you to lose. That's just how those work. And so honestly, you want to know where you're probably going to get screwed is bets 2+. That is more than likely where you're going to get screwed at. Yeah, Brian, you're right, man. Again, Kelce, I think, understands that. Oh, you made the parlay. Oh, okay, McCormick. Then I like it. I'm sorry. I thought it was a DraftKings parlay. I would veto that immediately. But if you made that parlay, I like the parlay. Just worried about the bets 2+ hits. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I gotcha. But Brian, I think Kelce understand. Like, let's take a step back. Like, he's got a huge podcast. He's got a internationally famous girlfriend. Like, he hears, I think, more than a lot of players, the noise. You know what I mean? Of Travis Kelce being distracted because he has this girlfriend, because he's doing these commercials, because. And that's why we saw, and everyone's equating that to why we saw the drop in production last year, which is fine, but it might be a reason. However, it is one of those things where you hear the noise. Oh, that's what you motherfuckers think of me. Oh, that's what you think of me. Well, let me show you. Let me come back, more cut than I've ever been. Let me come back underweight. Let me come back stronger than ever. Let me come back, poster board material for him. And I think that's how it's going to end up. I do. But no, he's over on the YouTube, McCormick. He is over on the YouTube. Which, hey, shout out to everyone, no matter where you're watching. If you like what we're cooking, please like, share, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. You told me Zach Ertz maybe 2-3 years ago, if you punt on a tight end, I'd be excited about it. I think it's a gamble. I do think it's a gamble. I wouldn't hate the pick. I wouldn't love the pick. It would just be one of those where, hey, you do what you got to do. But I think there's going to be, like, if you look for a tight end, I'm thinking a little bit more towards like round 9, round 10. I mean, you're going to have guys available. It's not going to be, Trey McBride or Brock Bowers level, but you're going to have a Dalton Kincaid. You're going to have a George Kittle or something like that. And so I wouldn't punt on a tight end, to be honest. That's one of the positions I would not. I mean, granted, you don't want to punt on any of them. I get it. But from what I'm seeing out of the drafts over the last 2 weeks is the tight ends going much later and there being very valuable tight ends from round 9 to round 11. I think after that, it's a little bit more of a shit show because there's a run on tight ends usually after that. But it is one of those things where it'll develop and it'll be fine. So I think if you, yeah, exactly. Either going to be super frustrated or excited. You couldn't have said it better. I just put a lot more words behind it. But yeah, hey, that is all I've got today, unfortunately. Not only is the wife home, I got to finish packing. I'm going on a trip for next week. Going to try to sneak in a week 0 recap for college football, either Sunday or late Saturday night. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that, hit the like button, hit the follow button. And shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Shout out McCormick and Brian7 in the chat. Appreciate the both of you keeping me sane during these 3.5 hours. But hey, we're all the way back starting tomorrow with week 0 football. Is going to be a good one. And then we are on a train all the way down. It's going to be great. We got a great couple months planned. Big stuff coming with Degenerate Takes. Or is it going to be Degenerate Takes? Ooh. Are we going through a rebranding soon? Ooh. You'll have to wait and see. Brian, you have a good night. Everyone, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. If you like what we're cooking, again, please hit that like button, hit the follow button. Helps us out a lot more than you know. With all that being said, I, of course, have been the Brofict one, AJ. Good luck. God bless. Have an incredible weekend. I'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.